stock since 2017. I had no mentor, no blueprint. I've created 7 millionaires and counting since 2019. This is Infinity Loop. Let's get into
How the higher time frames are set up, but it's like my target is really either gold or silver going into tomorrow. I guess it's FOMC, but it's just like people gotta understand the factors and the behavior and the relation of gold and silver to the rest of the market. Like it's correlation, but it's the gold and silver, gold especially. It's not just a currency pair. It's like a safe haven. It's a commodity. It's a you know what I'm talking about. It's all of the above. It hits off on every tick. So it's just like fundamentals would technically fully swing metals if it had to. And it's just like with FOMC coming out, if they decide that investors there's no risk in the market, then gold and silver could come down further, if that makes sense. Even if the dollar continues to go up, because I think that's why I had to get out of USD CAD because the dollar itself it's not necessarily the dollar, but oil. Oil and the dollar in my mindset should not be going the same way. So it's like if we see what oil is doing, technically oil is at a level of demand because it's coming down, but it's just like it's been coming down for days. And now that we see that the higher time frames are set up on oil, it's kind of hard to say that, hey, let's buy it from here because we've been trying to buy it all this time over here. Granted, this is a low point, so there's higher conviction, but it's like oil's made its move. It's not the one that I would chase. I want the ones that hasn't made the move yet, if that makes sense. And it's like the dollar has been having a hard time coming down because oil has also been coming down. But since Friday, when we had got stopped out originally, and that's why we were trading that $15 account, the dollar has been coming down, and it even started the market this week with a gap down to the downside, and then it's like tomorrow's Wednesday. Well, technically today is Wednesday because it's 5 o'clock. So in the forex markets, our side of the market, the what's it called? It's like the day starts today after 5 p.m. because it's Asian
Yeah.
session, but Asian session is the first session, London's the second session, and US session is technically the third session. That's why I always typically enter an Asian session. But it's like if I understand the market is really just buying and selling, I know every selling opportunity is gonna present itself to me with an ascending wedge. If I understand what true trend is, although I want the dollar to come down, I understand the significance of oil coming down and why, but oil is an asset no matter if it's coming down or not. So it's really just about timing on oil. But it's like if oil is a level of demand, we got high news coming out tomorrow. We got the dollar at a level of supply. It's been at this level of supply for a long period of time. It's still looking good on this segment. It's like just like the market is a series of uptrends, downtrends, buys and sells, up and down, buy and sells, all the same thing, right? Consolidation is going to break in a direction trend, but even into me trying out this new system compared to Zoom, my goal is not to just change a lot of shit up in my life unless something is breaking down, unless something is working over the past couple of weeks, especially issuing out the course. That was part of the other issue of Zoom was like glitching and it wouldn't let me do what I was supposed to do. So in my head, it's just a matter of it's a part of the game, but I should be able to pivot and find something better. So I could say that Zoom this year was at a low for me because it's like I've never had an issue with Zoom before, but even trading this market, I feel like it's a higher low because my life is constantly bullish. I'm always progressing and doing better. So I would say it's at a higher low considering it's like I keep taking losses in the market. But is it really losses in the market? Because it's like I'm starting with smaller accounts than a lot of other people. And that's the part that they aren't seeing. And it's like the way that I see it is if I say that I'm going to lead the world into this challenge to do 100 to 150K, and I know that I'm starting with a smaller account size, and I know that a lot of people don't have 100 to keep loading into an account, but I'm not always blowing a $100 account. Sometimes when the account blow, just like it was this week, it's a $15 account. But that's multiple times. Really, it's the small accounts that take the most time. So if anything, I feel like I'm wasting time trading the smaller accounts. But I think it's also necessary to show because there's going to be some of my followers who may have started a business and lost everything, who may have never had a business or anything, just starting from regular and don't have nothing. And you know what I'm talking about? So now it's just like I feel like I done started this movement. So it's like I have to be able to show the complete way not just shit getting hard, switch to my big account, you know what I'm talking about? And then leave niggas to figure shit out for themselves because what's the point of me saying I turned $100, $200 into 100K plus if I can't do it with everybody? And I know that I'm capable of doing it because I've done it multiple times and I've repeated it into others. So why? So I might as well continue to me if that makes sense. So it's just like I feel like damned if I do, damned if I don't, because if I leave niggas to fend for themselves, it's they took all the losses with me this path, this season for no reason. And that's the only reason I haven't switched back to my large account because I'm like, by the time the market is ready to go, isn't my profits on a big account not gonna mean shit if everyone took all these losses with me and then right before the win, I just switched the fuck over. You know what I'm talking about? That's my thought process behind it. But it's like the market works the same way. It's just higher highs and higher lows. I can say I'm at a higher low in life and trading right now because I'm like, I'm sick of losing in front of people that's never accomplished nothing. So then it's just like, yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong. What, nigga? You ain't got no fucking results to tell me this shit is wrong. You don't know what's going on. So it don't make no sense. So I got to be able to articulate that, if that makes sense. So it's like
Yeah.
every area of life is the same. Like people at the peak, when they're doing really well, they're at a higher high. And then it's like, okay, how much better can life get from here? Okay, then every day start getting a little worse. Maybe the kids being bad as shit. All right, maybe the wife and the husband is arguing. All right, maybe you done went to jail for no motherfucking reason. All right, came down, got a ticket right after you bailed out of jail. Now you gotta pay that shit too. You going right back. All right, now I got fired from a fucking job. Life just slowly progressing until it consolidates, gains stability, and then takes off again. But it's just like people got to see the market just like they see day to day life. Of the market has habits, just like we have individual habits. What is the habit of the market? If we all understand, and people have been saying over and over again, and we have been experiencing the dollar's decline in value over a long period of time, then why wouldn't I want to be a buyer of assets, if that makes sense? And assets to me is really anything against the dollar. But then, oh, I guess there is one part we never talked about before we get into that part. It's the type of market that we're in. I can see how everything is moving now, and I've realized we're in a mixed market. And it's just like correlations, they play a part. I would say 75 to 80%, upwards to 90% on some pairs. But then there's markets like this, just like in 2021 when I was getting my ass murked by NASDAQ and US 30 in that February, and I turned around that July and had a multiple $1 million trade that July, but was getting smoked in February, March of that year. Then it's just like I noticed the patterns of the correlations aren't making sense because why are some assets holding like US 30, the indices, US 30, NASDAQ, SPX, and then the Forex pairs, we can't get these bitches off the ground. Why is Bitcoin and Ethereum recognized in the stock market? Stock market and broke all-time highs. US 30 going to 55. We've been knew that. We've known that since 48. We known this since 43. We known this since 42. We known this since 20 because the market making higher highs and higher lows. We can't bank on that depression. And although the market is at a high, that doesn't mean sell in my head. It's just meaning to be more specific about the asset that I'm, investing in. And at the end of the day, it take risk. But just like in the market, not every day is easy. Not every season is easy. I ain't never been through some season like this before, so I don't have no choice but to fucking survive it because there is no other choice in this. I think it comes from the people. It's like a matter of growth and comfortability. If people are comfortable staying where they are, even if they're uncomfortable staying where they are, they're still going to choose that because it's known. And in the market, everything is unknown. The only thing I know is the habits of the market, and I execute from that standpoint. Because when I start not executing based off the habits of what this market is doing, that's the only time it gets confusing for me. If that makes sense. So it's like if I understand what the dollar is doing, I understand we at a high, I understand the habits of the dollar, I understand the habits of a downtrend, then I'm executing from that level of perspective. Therefore, give me a reason to sell this dollar. Now, what I won't trade as much this season will probably be USD CAD because,
That hurt my feelings.
huh? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired.
That's the one that hurt my feelings.
I'm tired of fucking USD CAD. I'm tired of this bitch. Every time I enter this bitch, something bad happened to me. I still got regular fucking emotions, and I don't even think I really lost no money on USD CAD this week. I think I just got sick of looking at the bitch and closed that shit out. I didn't care no more because I'm like, I know goddamn well this motherfucker didn't make it all the way to 140. It's some change, you know what I'm talking about? It hasn't been here since um well, 25, but when last time I seen some shit like this is, yeah, 2020 is I was selling it from over here. I've experienced this level of USD CAD coming down, but it's like I understand the dynamics of why USD CAD is having a hard time coming down. The dollar and oil should never go the same way. Not only should it never go the same way, it is damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible. So if Canada got oil and Mexico got oil and US dollar is the opposite of oil and oil coming down, the dollar ain't even got no fucking choice but to stall or slightly go up. And I'm talking about the way oil been coming down, like it's just going to fucking hell. This dollar ain't fucking moved barely. It's barely done anything in the last few weeks. We probably got stopped out over here. So 2.5, 3 weeks since the last time we was really trying to sell it for real and caught this, and then they said fuck us and then came up, we still retesting under a lower low, if that makes sense. So it's really testing everyone's patience, but it's like manipulation and testing the patience of the market does not necessarily mean we wrong. But I think that's the part that is hard for a lot of traders because they don't have as much money to try as many times. But that's why it's important for this account flip, because it's like, if I know where I was back in the past and I know I didn't have no money to keep risking in the market, I definitely didn't have no hundreds of dollars to keep risking in the market. When I blow the account, I really do try to trade it from the 10 and 15 plus. And that's why this week we got even those account sizes to like 50, 60 bucks. But it's the same mindset of I enter Bitcoin under a strategic way of thinking, because I'm thinking assets already gotta go up. You know what I'm talking about? Because the dollar is prepped to go down. Oil is already coming down, but oil is still an asset no matter what. So it's like assets and the stocks can still go up with oil coming down, if that makes sense. So why the fuck everything else still going up? US 30 didn't hit 52,000. NASDAQ didn't hit, let me see. I ain't even looked at NASDAQ in a minute. Fucking 30,000. And then SPX at 7,500. And Bitcoin and Ethereum can't get the fuck up. That don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm talking about? But it's like I don't give up on my trades either. So I understand we're at a low. It just requires a different level of patience whenever we blow the accounts. And that's what I have no choice but to show people, because it's like, I done already been doing this challenge for so damn long. I might as well complete it. But it's just like, I got to understand the relationships. I understand we in a mixed market. A mixed market is hard to, I don't know. I think it's hard for me to identify because it really didn't seem like it until we in it. But a mixed market is really nothing more than consolidation too, because you telling me the war just ended. The market has been doing the same shit since April 1st, March 28th, when we started this account challenge. If I The way that I see things is if I believe that one day I'm gonna be Elon Musk and one day I'm gonna be Jeff Bezos, I'm gonna be Mark Zuckerberg, and we understand, and we was laughing at everyone that Mark Zuckerberg invited to, create Facebook with him and could have been billionaires too, and they didn't do it because of whatever the fuck they was doing in their life. Then that's how I'm looking at it too with the rest of the world, because ain't nobody else starting from nothing, made their way all the way to the top, can prove results along the way, got multiple students doing the same shit, come back down into the trenches, and then give you an opportunity. It's gonna be the same shit. It's gonna be the same shit as the dot-com boom. It's gonna be the same shit as 2000.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm talking about?
I done used that same example 3 times in the past 5 days. I tell everybody
We
the
similar
same
though.
thing.
Me and you similar. We got a similar way of thinking. It's quite literally no matter what. Because we don't have no choice but to roll with the punches. It's no matter what. I understand what economy we are in, and I understand people don't have that to risk. But I'm saying no matter what, I didn't have that shit to risk either. 2017, 18, 19. 19, I got good. At 19, I became a millionaire. But I wasn't even no millionaire top of 2019. I was leaving child support court in that January. I got full custody. What the fuck we looking at my income for? We talking about your ass that's not doing your job. So it's like after that run, then that May, from January to May, I turned 5,000 into 7 figures. But I didn't even understand the depth of what I was doing back then as much as I do now. But it's still the same aspects of the one thing I did get right is my consistency. So maybe I didn't know what the fuck the market was doing completely, but I was consistent at buying assets over and over again in at least US session. But then check out US session, the last couple weeks. US session actually been the choppiest session because I promised the guy I don't blow my shit until I close my eyes. I close my eyes at 7 a.m. I should be safe. Why my shit gone every motherfucking morning? That shit is gone. I'm talking about I survive hours and days, other sessions, Asian session, cool. London session, cool. Bad shit happened in US session, but it's because the US dollar getting manipulated because it don't know how to act because it's so off correlation. Oil coming down, the dollar can't fucking go nowhere. It can't do nothing. We have to survive it no matter what. And no matter if they can risk it or not, the money got to come from somewhere. Niggas still out here buying drugs. Niggas still out here buying weed, buying alcohol, going to see friends, buying fucking fast food. Y'all right, you say you want to lose weight. You say you want to get rich. But that food money, put that bitch into the trading account. That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, the money got to come from somewhere. Because I had to have it come from somewhere when I was in. So it's all about the necessary risk people are willing to take. And if they're not willing to take that risk, they can't be mad at the result that I'm getting because I'm down here in the trench. And that's why I don't give nobody no fucking say. It actually got easier to trade with people and have a stable mindset when I took their vote away. I basically said, you can come here, but you can't get no voting shit because you ain't never turned no 100 into 100K, no 200 into 100K. But it's like, I do that shit real life. It's like people they think that they cannot risk something and they think they're at war with themselves or in the middle of a war. But really, it's just like you in the process of victory. Are you going to just stop when say if you going somewhere in a car, right? And it's like, they closed this road down. This happened to me when I was going to my in-laws' house the other day. This road is closed. This road is the road I typically take. Is my black ass gonna take the child home with me or I'm gonna find a different route to their house? I'm gonna find a different route to their house. You know what I'm talking about? It take a little bit longer, the route that I had to take because this road is closed, but I still get there. It's no matter what. So people be thinking I'm being mean, but I'm like, people gotta get into the habit of this way of thinking because there is no other choice. You cannot think you're gonna make any change in the world. Everyone talking about that Carmelo Anthony case and how they want to change the school systems and shit. I done already done that shit. I go toe to toe with them niggas all day and night, and they can't do nothing about it. They bank on me having a criminal record. I done talk my way out of that every motherfucking time. So it's like you cannot think you're gonna change the social injustice in the school system and in the way shit work in the world if you cannot take risking $100, risking $15 gonna cuss me out because your bitch ass lost $5. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? What change are you going to make when you cannot handle the screen in front of you? You know what I'm talking about? Because it really is the person within. Like the person I am now, I have to grow into this, but it stems from one mindset of assets run this entire world. But even on the business level outside of it, if we understand the rules of an uptrend, it's higher highs, higher lows, a descending wage is going to be the entry. All right, they fucking me up in this consolidation, but how many descending wedges we getting over and over and over again, over and over and over again? And this one's the biggest one right here. But
Weird part is the market didn't even gap.
on which one?
The market did not gap today.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I went to sleep. I'm thinking we cool as shit. It was probably right here. I woke up, that shit was gone. I was like, well, it was a $15 account. Oh well. I literally said, oh well. Because I don't know. The only thing that moved, that gapped, was the dollar. That's the only thing that actually gapped. Everything else didn't make sense. And this gap was what? Well, yeah, this is when the market opened. So this was market open this week, going into Monday.
Yeah, I was talking about like just this last little gap from 4 to 5 just then. It didn't show it didn't
Oh,
gap at all.
yeah.
And I'm sitting here like I gotta write this down because very seldom the market don't gap. Like it's still gonna just pick back up
Yeah.
where it left off at.
Even the gaps, the way that I see gaps is this. It's like the gaps to me, I still count it as price action. So in my head, I still feel the gaps with candlesticks because when the market has decided to side, it don't have to go back, if that makes sense. So it's just like I assume new high news came out. The market made what it wanted to make. Check this out. Look at metals. Look, check this out. Remember when we was trying to buy silver towards the end of the week and that shit blew my shit? That's why I had to remake this silver chart, because I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? So over here, going into tomorrow, I'm looking for sales on assets. Well, not on assets, but on metals. But my reason to sell metals is because I feel like there's no danger in this market. So therefore, we don't need these niggas as a safe haven. They could come the fuck down. I'm getting constant ascending wedges. We at a level of a high. The weekly chart is retesting this. This is an impulse to the downside. This is a rebalance of that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So the market, just like my mind, is a constant state of constructing, deconstructing, and reconstructing it over and over and over again. So it's just like, if I know for a fucking fact that we tried to buy Thursday going into Friday, and then I woke up and my shit was gone, I just like, in my brain, I'm like, man, this market bullshitted, and it's only a matter of time right here. So it's like, I understand where we bought. We had bought like Thursday going into Friday, so it was just last Friday the 12th. So yeah, it was like over here, and we get stopped out in this level, but it's not fully showing on the 15-minute chart. It was this level over here. It wasn't even over there. It's even lower. So we tried to buy Thursday going into a Friday at this level of demand. Market pop up. I'm thinking I could go to fucking sleep. I'm tired of going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep no more when I'm in it. It's no point. I'm also just drink 1,000 monsters until I get out of it in this market, because why am I getting smoked? I'm used to not having to look at this shit. Every time I turn my head, every time I blink, it's gone. I'm like, damn, bitch, stop. Because it's right. So it's like, if I'm buying at this level of demand holds here, the market don't respect it. It scoots beneath it, respects the level of demand later into Friday. And then on Monday, and with Sunday going into Monday, I'm going to say, oh my God, the war has ended, guys. I can't believe the market gapped up. I could fucking believe it. I was buying it. I just couldn't survive it. Why? In my head, a .02 should not have blown no fucking account. But it's just like, I can't hold a .02 in $100 account, because if I can't do nothing. That's a .02. Everyone like, you over leveraged, bitch. Fuck you. You can't even trade by yourself. If you thought differently, you should have did differently, because we doing what the fuck I'm doing. 'Cause I'm trading for all the world. Like, I know I look crazy, but I'm not fucking retarded. So it's just like, I'm not surprised that fundamentals came out. Okay, war is ended. People don't understand about supply and demand. It's supply and demand. News come out at a level of supply and demand. So we at a fucking level of demand. The only people that surprised that the war ended, something ended, honestly, like, I didn't care what made the market spike. I don't care what the news is. I just needed that bitch to go up. And that was the catalyst to make it go up at the end of the day. So if that's a catalyst and I'm buying right and the market barely scoop under it, then there's nothing in my process that's wrong. It's just the condition. And I feel like we this fucking close. Like, we this close. It's really just surviving it at this standpoint, because we are at the same level of structure that we were when we first began the account challenge 2 months ago. But it's like, I've noticed it don't matter what I say. It don't matter how I articulate. It don't matter how much I show up in front of people. It don't matter how much I trade with people, lead the way, set the foundation and the systems in place so they can follow me easier. People are not looking for an actual strategy to understand how to get free and tell other niggas what to do. They're looking for a way to get rich fast because they didn't have that shit in order in the beginning. And that's not something that I can help with. I'm showing you the process in different seasons. The market money is fast. I ain't never had no season like this personally, but in this season, I'm getting my ass whooped and I don't have an answer for it. But it's a small account, so it's like we really safe. It's like they have a thought process on risk management, but they're not understanding my risk management is if a small account not gonna make it, a large account not gonna make it. If I'm starting with $100, I know 100 could go to $10,000 plus. Then if this 100 don't make it to 10,000 plus, this market not ready. And now, as we can see, since March 28th, this market has not been ready. But then it's like, my way of thinking is, yeah, I don't use stop losses in this market, because I'm right. I'm absolutely right. I've been trading for almost a decade, and this is my worst season. And I wouldn't even say it's my worst season. I'm trading tiny ass accounts, but that's my risk management of, I cannot lose more than this 100 for real. Yeah, the equity could go negative, but I trade negative numbers because of the way the negative numbers work. It's like I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever tried it before. It's not something that I got to on purpose either. It just happened that way that I realized I could trade negative numbers on the accounts, if that makes sense. Because because the way that I see it is it's really a loan against the broker of the entries are so good that it like gives me equity in this world, but it's just like buying assets in the real world. I'm getting equity from that entry that I have, and the longer I hold this entry, the more that the market respects these rules, the more money I could potentially get, or the more risk that I could take, even though it's a tiny account, because it's a tiny account, but then it's equity. But then with it being a tiny account, with the equity still holding, with those positions still holding, whether I'm a buyer or a seller long term, that it's like every single entry, every time I enter the market, it's still going to cost me money to enter the market, if that makes sense. So that's how the equity starts to get, the balance starts to get negative. But the equity is still holding because of the entry that I have. So we can say the most important part of this is going to be the entries, because the entries hold the equity. And if you got equity in the world, people really can't tell you shit. So it's like equity's not only, the balance isn't going negative only because of something getting blown. That's just one factor, but that's my risk management skill. I'm using the broker as a way to protect the account, because if the account, if I don't have to watch the account the whole time. If something, an entry cannot hold on the account that's going to bring the margin to like a 70%, then the broker is going to take that position because it's too damaging to for the account. The account will not survive if this entry is in, if that makes sense. So people understand technical analysis and fundamental analysis, but they don't understand the way of thinking and how to pull it all together. Of technical analysis and fundamental analysis is only one part of it. But I was more trying to understand technical analysis and fundamental analysis when I first started learning how to trade. That's how I got into profit. But it's like when people thinking they're just gonna be 6-figure traders, 7-figure traders, making multi-millions, multi-billions, that's not gonna happen with the mindset. So it's just like I'm confident that a $15 account can still go to $150,000 because it's in the equity. So if the market pop up, this position, the broker closes this position because that position is wrong, then it takes away from the balance. But they can't take this position down here because the entry is too good. So now when the market makes its next higher low, it still can't take this position unless I completely obliterated the account by making really too many mistakes, if that makes sense. If I made too many mistakes, it obliterates the accounts, and then all the positions are gone. But if it cannot take that position, then the next higher low the market gives me is my entry into a buy again. So now that's where the stack comes in. But people got to understand that way of thinking. They got to be open to another perspective, because shit, I'm sure that's how electricity was invented. And that nigga Ben Franklin out there with his dumb ass got like, I'm finna create electricity. These niggas in the dark like, man, ain't no goddamn electricity. Now we got light, niggas. Now we got light. And he looked like a genius. I look like a genius when the accounts flip. I look like a dumbass when they don't flip, but it's really not that dumb because my risk management is in place. It's just a different way of risk management. But I just never, it's something that happened on accident. I think the first time I did it was on Dash USD. And it was actually what size was that account? I think that account started with 100. By the end of it, it was like a Friday going into a Saturday. That account was like negative $8. But then Dash had went from like $30 a coin to like 150 a coin over. You remember that shit? Yeah, I feel like time is frozen. Like I can't get anything to fucking move in this market. That's why I'm like, this market is mixed. It's not me. So it's like the market conditions. I know it's not me, but yeah, Dash, that account, by the end of it, that shit was a -8 balance. I'm floating 20 bands overnight. Overnight, this shit went from 30 to 150. I'm floating $20,000 on a negative account. But that was like the first time I'd done some shit like that I paid attention to, that was the biggest one. So now I was like, oh, okay, let's do that again. So I just perfected the craft over and over again, but it's because my mindset is consistent across the board. Even as a business owner, and an investor outside of just day trading, as a business owner, I know that I have to put my money in something, an asset. In this case, employees are an asset to me because they are a tax write-off as well, if that makes sense. But it's like if I know that I'm buying real estate, I'm getting multiple sources of income, I'm investing in stocks so that I could win in the tax game and then also offset inflation. Because it's like nobody just have no fucking billions of dollars, millions of dollars in cash. It's always in assets. Assets is holding the world together. So why would my mindset be any different when I approach this market? The only difference is I know what I'm doing down here. I'm here to set an example. I know what the result is going to be. I didn't document it enough before I made it because I didn't know what the result was going to be. But I wasn't like online either because life was kicking my ass. So I couldn't even tell nobody nothing because I was too poor to be online talking to people. I wasn't even thinking about people like that. So it's like the rules of an uptrend, the rules of a downtrend, that's one part. But the biggest part of trading nobody talks about is what's your mindset behind it. I understand why I want to sell gold and silver, especially going into tomorrow, because we didn't already pumped up before the news. We got a constant level of ascending wedges playing a part. We at a level of supply on, I would say, the weekly daily chart for silver and gold. So it's like if this is the rebalance to where we just came from right here on the 4-hour chart, then I got a better chance of selling a high because no matter what the market is, every high is going to give me a reason to sell. Have stop loss above the previous high. Try to, I would say, add more closer to like US session or the end of London session, but it's kind of hard to say that too because the sessions overlap. So people will say the end of London session don't even end till like 10 o'clock in the morning for real. You know what I'm talking about? Baby, baby. But yeah, a constant way of thinking is kind of what keeps me sane in this market, in business, in life. But I also understand that I don't want shit to be hard, but I'm okay if the shit do get hard because success ain't just handed on a silver platter, if that makes sense. You gotta be able to roll with the good days, the bad days, the uptrends and the downtrends, because every single uptrend has red and green candles. Every single downtrend has red and green candles. My candles are all white because red and green candles is nothing more than buy and sell. And but it's almost like society, it's like society gets us used to red, green, and yellow, but they're like molding us from a young age. Red means stop, green means go, yellow means slow down. Some people speak the fuck up on yellow, but either way, it's the same shit. But it's the opposite in the market. Everything in this market is against human nature. So it's just a matter of fear and greed. But fear and greed is nothing more than buy, sell, up, down, bullish, bearish. So it's just like it's the terminology that gets people confused. And then because the terminology is confusing, they're thinking it's like it's finance, but it's really patterns. I'm not doing anything with numbers. Even when it comes down to counting pips and stuff like that, like I don't know. I always try to find a shortcut to everything because it's like for a long time I didn't even know how to count pips. I just started counting pips in the beginning by using my lot size. So I knew that if I started with a point oh 0.01 for every 10 pips, that's $10, right? And then so I'm like, okay, I would just multiply that by 10. Now I got a point 10. Every 100 pips is $100. All right. A one standard. Every 100 pips is $1,000. And that's how I learned how to count pips. But I was never afraid of getting started. I was never afraid of looking stupid because everything makes sense once it makes sense. But if people wait for things to make sense, it's usually too late. The news coming out about the war, that's them waiting too long for it to make sense because news comes out like on Sunday going into Monday as soon as the market opened, like 5 o'clock. So anyone's like, okay, guys, the war is ended. Let's go ahead and buy it. We're gonna buy it at low. Look, market know it, everybody. Market not dumb. Yeah, these niggas trying to buy it low. They buy it low, and then this all they move they get because they waited for the news to come out. But if they use the anticipation skills, they can get this motherfucker over here where we got it. Now we ain't have it because we got manipulated, but we have a constant habit of catching the market at good points. I don't think there's anything I could have changed about this trade either. That's another level it come from to where I'm so right to where it's like I would take the same play over and over again. And I do take the same play over and over again because if I wouldn't change anything about it, and I know that I don't wait for the news to give me an entry, I also don't use indicators because indicators tell me the entry too late, just like the news, then everything really is about price action. And the only way the market can get you is if it get manipulated. But then people got to understand what is manipulation. All right, I know the market's going up and down. All right, cool. Everybody know that. I can learn how to trade on YouTube by myself. All right, nigga, go do it. Don't care. Why you here? You know what I'm talking about? because it's like, if you don't understand all the keys and how to use them all together, what is manipulation? Manipulation is when a market not following its own rules. Like if I'm in a sell and the market is selling and it scooped the highs and it should have been a lower high, manipulation. But people can't articulate what manipulation is because they legitimately don't know. So it's like until they want to find a deeper meaning into things, they can kiss them 6-figure trades goodbye, 5-figure trades not, 4-figure trades non-existent, 7-figure trades never fucking happening. That shit is a dream. You know what I'm talking about? But even at the end of the day, dreams and nightmares, that's good and bad. That's buy and sell, up or down. Everything come back to it. Yin and yang, nothing changes. It's a way of life. It's a perspective that is profitable. So it's like if I understand where I am, I understand what I'm doing for the world, I understand it's 2026. And we was talking about niggas when Facebook was first created and they didn't jump on the hard work part of it. I'm finna be laughing at them in about a month or two, whenever it happened, because I'm not in charge of the timing of the world. I understand that. But look, I understand it even more this season than any other season because I'm more like a flame. Flame. I ain't got no fucking flame yet. Where my flame at? Where's my flame? Like, what is going on? You trying to make an example out of me? Okay, that's cool. I can handle that. How long though? I don't know. You're not gonna tell me how long? Okay, it's fine. I never know when. I never know why. I always find out why after the fact. But I ain't gotta know why to execute. If I waited to know why to execute, I would have been like these niggas up here thinking, okay, guys, the war has ended. Let's go ahead and buy now. Niggas should have been buying here. Should have been buying here. They bought here and they surprised at the market coming down. I hope the market actually, matter of fact, yes. Look, the war end right here. They catch this move. They ready to be buyers. I hope this bitch go to hell tomorrow. I swear to God. Because that's what they get for waiting for the news. I told them to stop waiting on the news. If the news was meant to make people rich, everybody would be rich. My grandma loved the news. That's all she's talking about. I used to just avoid conversation with her because she talking about some guess what happened in the news, your president, grandma, I don't know if you know me or not, but fuck all the presidents. I don't care about none of them. They don't change my economy. I'm not going on my way to vote for them because whatever was gonna happen, just like in the market, was gonna happen. Everything that's happened this year in the market was already set to happen. The higher time frame's been set up since the 80s. I'm sure Trump wasn't even thinking about running for presidency in the 80s. The market was set for him to win the election in 2020 when he was leaving. You know, I'm talking about shit like that. It's like we don't understand what we don't understand, but it's not our job to understand. It's our job to execute based on a source of habits. And what's the main habit? Market is in a set of uptrends and downtrends every single time frame, every single day, every single hour. So what is going to stand out the most? What's making me more bullish than bearish? What's making me more bearish than bullish? Ascending wedges gives me a reason to sell. Descending wedges give me a reason to buy. Oh, I understand the smaller time frames is entry. I understand the higher time frames run the market. All right, that's easy to say. Now be patient. Can't be patient. I can tell people everything they want to know about this market. I could give you everything I know, but if you cannot be patient, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. If you quit, you're not gonna make it because the market banking on that. They banking on you quitting because shit get hard in the market. Guess what? Niggas have hard days at work. I remember, bro, I always used to quit jobs. I was broke as shit quitting jobs. Man, fuck this shit. This shit is hard. I'd rather be poor. That's why I was back then. I'd rather say fuck this shit. I'd rather be like nothing. I'd rather have nothing. So it's like a hard day at work and a hard day in the market. At least I get to be home. At least I got assets from the market. The jobs never paid me enough. Like I remember sitting at BB&T Bank in 2018. Bro, it's Saturday. I got to work a double. I was there on break. I still didn't have enough rent money. And so them niggas, they didn't scam me, but they machine broke down. They ATM. So I'm like, yes, a glitch in that matrix. They said the ATM break down. I didn't have enough rent money. I'm working a double on a Saturday. I don't have enough rent money, and God bless me putting my rent money in the ATM that was already short, and I was just praying something gonna happen, and then the ATM break down. I walk into the bank, tell them their machine fucking broke. They can see it's broken, and okay, how much did you have? I had this much rent money. I had this much. No, I didn't have that much, but how you gonna prove it? Your shit broke down. That's a blessing. That's the system. You got insurance, nigga. I ain't got enough rent money. I ain't trying to get evicted. So, da. Oh, it's gonna take a few days to figure this out. It's not gonna take no few days to figure shit out. because I'm finna get evicted today if I don't get this rent money in there, and that's what I'm here for today. Depositing my rent money and your shit broke, and that's your bad. So guess what? We got the rent money that day. That's what happened. But it's like I was working my ass off back then. Just because you work hard don't mean you're gonna get rich. I don't do shit now. I guess I could say I'm a little lazy, but not even then, because it's like I'm using my brain in a different way. Like I'm waiting on the market, but in the wait, which is the blessing, I have to be able to articulate and educate. I have to be able to draw attention to myself. Like my job is to say outrageous shit online, get people to look, and then empower them to do better, because somebody has to. People got to understand that the world is always going to triumph. You could do whatever you want in this world, but they're banking on you thinking you're going to lose your source of income if you have to triumph. If you worry about going to jail, if you got a meeting, they going to fire you. You don't make that meeting because you got to turn up on somebody. You know what I'm talking about? They banking on that. You need to go to work. You need to keep a roof over your head, but the market can pay you. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like you don't have no choice but to learn from where you start, because tax money, how many times they done bought fucking flat screens? How many times they done bought fucking lemons every fucking year? At least put some of that in a skill set. You ain't even got to learn from me, pay me personally no more. Because honestly, if it's not bands, I'm not gonna be there anyway. But my part I play in the world is gonna be I teach for free on YouTube. And not even teach everything on YouTube, but I'm here to awaken your thought process so that you can think outside the box. Because I can say that the way that I think now is even an original way of thinking of back in the day, but it's something that's been built along the way. I can't talk about people that didn't take Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos up on their offer, who don't want a billionaire in their pocket. But it's like, you could have been, I'm sure there was something along the way, a time along the way to where they could have been helped him with something, but that shit didn't matter until he got all the way to the top. But it's the same shit. It's a journey. People are not willing to survive the journey, but the journey is the process. All right. You want to succeed at something, this is the process. But I want to be a trillionaire too. I don't want to struggle. All right, then give me somebody else in your family. One of you niggas gonna give up the free time. So if it's not you, who is it? That's literally what I think about. If it's not me going through dumbass shit, Aubrey gonna have to go through dumbass shit. Now, if I ain't like my kid, sure, little motherfucker, you go through the dumbass shit. I'm tired of going through the dumbass shit. I'll be broke the rest of my life. I'll let you change the family. But no, I love my kid. I don't want her to have to deal with these dumbass idiots on the internet. I'll fuck them up myself. And then by the time that you get older, you get to do the fly shit. I get to go toe to toe with niggas. I didn't get to go to college. I had to actually make a living and take care of my sisters and build and not go to college. All right, everything figured out. You going to college. You networking. I'm not the networker. I'm the builder. I'm the foundation. You go talk to people and rub shoulders with the rich kids, because their parents was also the builders. You know what I'm talking about? So everyone got to understand, you going to always have a different season, but it's like there's a season for everything. There's times where I'm doing it alone. There's times where I'm doing it with people. And I feel like I'm in a period where I'm doing it with everybody because it's important. The account flips after this account flip. I know I'm going to flip it because I'm not trading no other account. It only makes sense to me to lead the way. Anybody that's been executing with me this entire time, it doesn't make sense for me to like, all right, well, this is hard, guys. Fuck it. We just lost all that money for no reason. We will prevail together. All the systems are in place. The site is up. The course not all the way up yet, but look, this is my first day on this platform instead of the Zoom platform. It's down there, up now. What's after that? Nothing really other than making money in the market. So we just all trading together, but it's like building a foundation so that the foundation can be strong so that we can help even more people and at least awaken people to it, because I have a thought process of how like things go in an order in my head. So the main thing was to get the site up. And then the next thing is the email list and shit like that. But that shit is free. So that's kind of last on my list, because then it's like, how do I help people outside of YouTube? I hit them with a free ebook. You want to know some more shit? All right, then you get to pay. Somebody in my inbox is going to say, well, I can't afford $1,500. And I said, I never told you to buy nothing that's $1,500. I told you to go to YouTube. And you get offended, I say go to YouTube, because not everyone in the same tax bracket. Not everyone got the same economy. I got to be able to think for the people that's me now, because I understand trading the journey and and who I was back then. And I'll say this, people don't understand there's 3 parts to the journey. There's always an area of refinement. In this case, I'm refining, but I'm refining in public. And the more I think about it, is everything that I'm going through in public is the exact same process I would have had to go through in private in different scenarios, but it's the same process that Mark Zuckerberg had to go through, Elon Musk had to go through. Remember when that rocket fucking crashed? Yeah, that was his fucking higher low too. We was talking about that nigga bad. Ah, that fucking rocket fell out the sky. My rocket is falling the fuck out the sky. Now nigga a trillionaire. I'm finna be a trillionaire too. Cause I'm not quitting. I'm not finna stop flipping these accounts. I done already been flipping with everybody. I'm not finna go flip by myself. We finna flip this account together because it's gonna feel even better. And the way that I am now, I'm like, hey, we already know fundamentals and technicals. Now I'm just giving people the mindset you gotta have to be stable, because it's just like people gotta be able to know they don't know what's going on. They gotta admit, hey, I don't know. Hey, I'm waiting because I really don't know. COVID was like the first time I've ever traded a COVID, but COVID to me is just a reason for the market to move. The war is just a reason for the market to move. Tariffs in 2018 and 19 was a reason for the market to move. The trade war. Look, I was a kid when Zika virus and the swine flu came out and shit. That's the reason for the market to move. I wasn't even thinking about the market to move. But it's like, okay, so what's the relation between all of that? Let's stop looking at it as an event for how do you say, like a fundamental event, and let's figure out the relationship. So for the next decade plus, we understand that the next Zika virus that come out, all right, this market gonna crash. Buy that motherfucker. Every single low gonna give you a reason to buy and hold it. Hold your assets. Oh, but holding assets, it's hard. Da 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 da. It's price fluctuations. Price fluctuate no matter what. They got price fluctuations at the grocery store. One day milk is $1, $2. The next day that bitch is $5. You got to be able to live it real time if you really expect to make a change. And I understand shit is uncomfortable because I was uncomfortable back then, but it didn't change the process. Somebody in my family had to do it. My mom, undiagnosed schizophrenic, she couldn't fucking do it. She probably did try to do it. I don't know. I was a kid. I doubt it because I don't remember her. I don't remember that kind of habits and perspective. Although I did go to public school too. Aubrey's homeschool, so she see it all the time. But Aubrey today, oh, she been doing this shit since she was like 4, 5 years old. She'll walk into the room. She say, "Are you blowing your account?" I used to be fucking mad about it because I would actually be blowing my shit. And I didn't know how to control myself. But I don't get mad at the shit no more. The shit is funny. She asked me today, and I say, well, yeah, I did blow it actually. And then she starts laughing because it's just getting her emotional intelligence up on how to deal with the market, because one day I'm gonna die. It's guaranteed. It's like everyone's not making it out this bitch alive. If my kid does not have my mindset on how to feel towards assets are good even when they are bad, then the wealth will not last. And the mindset is what get passed on to generations. So if I scare her about the market is bullshitting and the market not giving me my money, the market making me look dumb as fuck in front of the world right now, I've been free a longest time. She had never seen me work a job. So it's just like she don't know nothing else but seeing her mama home all the time, never working a job. She didn't even understand somebody working a job until Justin came to live here for like, remember this year for like 6 months, because him and his wife had got into it, but I had to kick his ass out. She had asked me one day, she's like, why he going to work? I said, because your daddy need money. Me and your daddy is not together. I don't take care of him. That nigga got to go to work. And that's exactly what it is. So if you expect to take care of your family, you got to go to work. Somebody got to go to work. But then in my sense, I had to go to work back then and I had to take risk at the same time. Justin went to work back then. He wasn't taking risk at the same time. Back then, we both had no money. And we had to find a way to pay for things. But that nigga like beer and drugs. He still found a way to pay for that. Why didn't he just put that into the market or take risk with that instead of doing what he doing, and he wouldn't be living the same fucking life a decade later? That's how I see it. So it's like people can't sit here and be mad at billionaires or trillionaires for like, nobody needs that kind of money. Nah, fuck that. We do. You know why? Because then we get to walk around and tell niggas what to do and shit like that. Not even what to do, but at least stand up for ourselves, make that shit a thing. So it's just like you gotta have that confidence, not even just in the market, but the market confidence, it prints on every other area, because it's like, excuse me, have you ever turned 200 into 100K? Then you are invalid. You're fucking invalid to me, because what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It's yin and yang. It's about balance. The market don't care who you are in this world. You understand the rules. You got emotional intelligence. Shit gonna work out for you. And it take a while to gain that emotional intelligence in the market. it's just different stages of people that say, I'm never going to pay this. Everyone understands how to trade the market. Them niggas not going to have no $1 million trades. I know that from what they saying because I understood what it took to get here. And that's why I don't mind telling people, at least a little bit how to trade on YouTube because it's like, you have to be willing to grow on every fucking season. I'm not going to stop growing until I'm having $10 million months. Because why not? Even if I don't have more kids, at least she ain't gonna have to worry about nothing in the world. Her job now is to go network, make friends, live your life. My mama, when I was in 7th grade, she told me I couldn't have no fucking friends. I was scared to make friends. I was scared my mama was coming up to school and saw me talk to a friend and beat the shit out of all of us. So I never was wanting to make friends. And that's cool because it just made me put my head down more in the market of, I ain't gotta talk to nobody. Ain't shit to be said. Let the money talk. And the money been talking. Oh, you made those receipts. All right, if I made those receipts, you go make those receipts too. Go copy and paste it. Go make AI make that receipt. You can't make no AI make these fucking receipts. This shit been here. You know what I'm talking about? The experience been here. So it's really just about being able to just have a sane mind. And that's the most important part because there's only so much to technicals. There's only so much to fundamentals. Where's your mindset that's gonna keep you sane when shit not going your way? Lawyer last year talking about, you don't be one of the clients where shit only happen when stuff going your way. I said, ma'am, I trade. The market don't always go my way, and I just roll with the fucking punches. I'm rolling with the punches this year, so we can't sit here and say that I'm only happy when shit go my way. I'm a happy motherfucker every fucking day because it don't change nothing. I still have to go with the punches. I said, but correction, because I trade the market and know I'm in control of my emotions every fucking day, this is where I could call you out on it you gonna do your job or I'm gonna tell the judge your ass is incompetent because I can. And then I'm gonna fire you. And you know what she said? The last clients that fired me, he went to jail. I said, I don't know what that nigga had got in him, but God don't have that for me. I said, there ain't no fucking way. If I'm going to prison for the rest of my life for 2 to 10 years, there must be somebody fucking important in that jail. Cause I turned this motherfucker up, but I ain't done enough shit in this world to go to no fucking prison. So she's like a pessimist, I would say. I'm an optimist. I know shit gonna work out for me, even when the shit is against me. I know this shit gonna work out for me. I'm gonna learn something from everything. I'm taking all these L's. All right, let me take it in public because what the fuck we gonna do about it? Because when the winning season come, when the winning trade come, that's when everybody flow in. I've done it too many times. That's when the flow come. And my private students, y'all get the best side of me because y'all get to see me every week. They don't really get the side of me. They get the email. They get the YouTube. They're not getting the information real time. They're not getting my authentic thought process. And the thought process is the most important part. That's why it's like, okay, if I say I want a $400,000 trade, a $500,000 trade over and over and over again consistently, then and you're gonna give it to me, and my job is just to show the world, inspire the world, empower the world, I could do that. I done gone toe to toe with these niggas all the time. Judges, schools, prosecutors, my own fucking attorneys, police, all the time. Sitting in the car smelling like just smoke the blunt. Don't give a fuck. Sitting in the car together. Dog in the car. I'm ready to get out the car. I know I'm in the wrong. Yes, officer, it smell like weed in this motherfucker. When we got the car, nigga not expecting that. You're not expecting that. Just drive away. Just go. All right, you sure? All right, you're not gonna pull me over and try to call it a DUI, are you? Because I'm like, we didn't hear it now? All right, well, I'm a skedaddle, get my ass home, and I'm gonna stay the fuck there the rest of the night. But that's the approach with everything. So you gotta learn how to articulate yourself in the world, but you also gotta learn how to articulate yourself in the market. But it goes hand in hand. I'm willing to roll with the punches because that's what it takes in order to progress, just like in the market. If I know that the market is higher highs, higher lows, and even though lows are gonna come, then I'm still gonna buy the low because I anticipate progression in life, in the market, in technology, and in the world. Nothing is not. I'm not expecting no Great Depression. I'm not expecting to fail forever. I'm not expecting to only have 1,000 people on YouTube. I know that's gonna take work and patience and consistency. You got to give people a reason to come back every single day. My mentorship, I got to make sure that you guys understand my thought process so that you can have big trades too. And then you having big trades only look better on me as well. I don't never see no trader in their losing season. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why it's important for me to just say fuck it. And I say fuck it because the shit beyond me. Showing the losing season is important because what did I learn through this losing season? I learned that I need to lead the way no matter what, because eventually when the account challenges flip, people are gonna have to trade by themselves, and it's a lot easier trading on me. And I got 2 years of experience versus trading by yourself because I remember back in the day, like You know, I didn't have no experience, and I couldn't have even fathomed how to handle losses and what a different way of thinking for risk management is. Because when it comes to trading, everybody got one specific way of risk management. That's what people are used to, but people not used to 200 going into 100,000 either. They're not used to 500 turning into 500,000. So it's just like, if I'm able to prove that result and show you the result and screen record the result and withdraw the result, then ain't shit to argue with. And I don't even argue no more. I just take away people's voice. All right, well, this nigga ain't got no say. They don't know what's going on. They bad. They gonna grow up one day. That's how I see it.